Alright, so today we're training triceps and back, so impossible dips and front lever. And I was asked by a viewer, like, how many sets do I do per exercise? Do I just always do 3 exercises? And the answer is, of course, no. Like, sometimes I do less sets, sometimes I do more sets, but how do I determine that? Well, basically, rather than aiming for a certain amount of sets, I oftentimes aim for a certain amount of fatigue. For example, right now, I'm doing these impossible dips, but these impossible dips are not the main exercise. The main exercise of the day is going to be front lever. So I don't want to be too fatigued. And based on that, I'm going to do my sets. I'm going to warm up. I'm going to do a couple sets. And like each time I will feel my triceps. Is it tired? Is it not tired? And basically decide from there if I want to do another set, right? And then I will move on to the front lever and I will do the same thing, but the front lever is the main exercise, is the last exercise. So it's okay if I get a bit more tired. And I guess this is like quite a difficult thing, especially if you are starting out in the beginning. But if you're a beginner, then I think the 3-set method is quite fine. It's a good balance between volume and intensity. And as you go along, as you continue training, you will start to feel if you really need 3 sets, if you need less, if you need more. And basically, then you can like adjust the amount of sets you do based on your goals. If you want to build muscle, you just get as tired as possible in the least amount of sets possible by doing intense sets. If you want to do skills, well, then you do a bit more sets, but your sets are less intense. And then that way, you can work towards a certain fatigue. So I'm gonna do a second warm-up set here. I already did my first one, my first warm-up set off camera. So band assistance. All right. Whew. It's been a while since I did impossible dips again, but I'm gonna do one last warm-up set of some impossible dips without any assistance, and then we can move on to the white bad boy deep impossible dips, which is always fun. All right, that's quite intense already. Now let's move on to some white boys. All right, let's see how this goes. Holy fucking shit. You do sets like this and then your muscles get tired quite fast, so I think I will do one more attempt of this, maybe 2, and then move on to the next exercise. Okay, so my arms were vertical on the last attempt, which is quite good. I don't think I was ever able to do that before. So now I'm gonna try something funny. I'm gonna see if I can straighten my arms completely on the way down. Oh, I need some music for this. God damn it. Nope. That's so difficult. Holy shit. Fuck. All right. I guess that's it for today. Holy shit. I have to try this again next time. All right. You lose some, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, that's it. Now let's move on to front lever. All right. So front lever, the goal is endurance, and to build endurance, you have to endure. So I will endure the front lever for 45 seconds with some band assistance. Do this for a couple of sets. At least 2, but maybe 3 if all goes well. or maybe with some added weight, combined with the assistance. We'll see. But the main point is here that I want to fatigue my muscles, by doing long sets, because that's, how you hold the film lever for a long time. All right. All right, that was heavy, but I want to do one more set because then we have one more set than last time. Whew. That burns. All right. That's how you can determine sets, When you go to your fucking limit, there's no more sets to do. Let's move on to the next exercise. Right, as always, why the hell would you need Red Bull when you can just do foam lever to get some wings? I'm gonna do 2 sets, relatively light, and then I mean relatively low intensity with some weight on my feet to just get used to some power movements instead of all the endurance, because if you keep during the endurance, you're gonna lose some power, which is actually negative for your endurance sets as well. You wanna feel light in the foam lever, right? So a few last of these weighted sets, and then we'll be done for the day. I'm gonna do some presses. All right, and just like that, that is one workout completed. And the amount of sets per exercise, I think today it was like 2 sets for the first exercise, and then three sets for the foam lever endurance, and then 2 sets for this final exercise. I mean, varying between 2 to 3 sets per exercise, I guess, but that's not to say that I always do it like this, because it varies on the workout, truly. Like, for the planche, for example, I did EMOM style. 1 set every minute on the minute. And if you do those sets, they are way less intense per set. So you do way more sets, and I ended up doing like 10 sets of planche holds, but because it's every minute on the minute, it's only 10 minutes in total. And vice versa as well for the pistol squats, for example. Like, what I like to do in the pistol squats is like do 1 or 2 even main sets. So it's even less, right? I mean, 1 set is the lowest you can go. But I just base it off of the fatigue I have after doing those sets. And if I'm satisfied, then that's okay, no matter how many sets it was. So that's kind of how I plan out, or I don't plan it out. That's kind of how I end up with the amount of sets I do. It's just based on feeling, on the fatigue I have. And I would just recommend in the beginning, start off training with like 2 or 3 exercises per training, do them 3 sets to 5 sets, see how it feels, how you recover, and adjust based on that. So I hope that kind of helps when it comes to advice. And that's it for today's training. Very satisfied with how it went. Have a good pump. I feel like I will recover well, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for some pistol squats.